In this video, I'm going to show you how to blink an LED using an Arduino. I'm going to assume that you know nothing about electronics, so I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go through how an LED works, how to size a resistor to an LED, how a breadboard works. So if you're comfortable with that, you can skip around, and the timestamps are in the description. In digital electronics, we can either be in one of two states. The first state we can be in is on, and the second state we can be in is off. So those are the only two states we can be in when we're working with digital electronics, which is what the digital outputs of an Arduino are. And it's what we're going to be using today. So alternatively, you might hear of on state being referred to as true. It might be high, it might be 1. Off might be false, low, or 0. And it's going to depend on whatever source you're looking at. But they mean the same thing. They mean that if I look at the voltage on the Arduino and I'm on, my Arduino, I'm using an Arduino Uno, is going to give me 5 volts. Now your Arduino might be different. Your Arduino might output 3.3 volts. So for you, 3.3 volts would be high. And it's not going to be exactly 5 volts or 3.3 volts. There's a lot of real world factors that factor into the exact voltage that your Arduino will output. And I'm not going to get into them in this video, but just know 5 volts is this idealized theoretical values that we're looking at. Now it can also be off, and if it's off, 0 volts. It's going to be considered low. So we can either be at 5 volts or 0 volts, the two states. Because we want to blink an LED, we need to talk about what an LED is. And with an LED stands for a light emitting diode. And on a schematic, you might see this symbol right here. This symbol is an arrow. This is a diode symbol with a couple of arrows that point away from it. Those arrows pointing away from it indicate light is being emitted from this diode, a light emitted diode. Now, because it's a diode, it means that it needs to be inserted into our circuit the correct way. And to insert it into the circuit the correct way, we need to know about these two leads of the LED. The first lead, which is the longer lead, is the anode. And what the anode is, it's where you would connect your positive voltage. So you would connect this to a pin of the Arduino. The other lead, which is the shorter lead, is the cathode. And that, I remember it cathode to common, and ground is common. So that's how I remembered anode goes to power, cathode goes to ground. And let's say you're really excited, you got an LED, and you cut both of the leads to the same length. That's okay, because what you're actually looking for is the flat side of the LED. When we look at a real LED, that's what we see. We see my flat side, which is right here. In the pin, the leg that's under that flat side is my side that's connected to ground. So if you looked at my schematic, that would be the side that's connected to ground. So the flat side on these LEDs, you are able to see it pretty easily. So with this LED, we typically want to limit the current that's going through this LED. Too much current is bad and you'll burn out the LED. We need to look at a couple of terminology terms. The first term is the forward voltage. The forward voltage is going to be the voltage over the LED that the LED has when it's on. The second term is the maximum forward current. The maximum forward current is the highest current that that LED can handle before it might burn out. You're going to get both of these from data sheets. So your typical LED forward voltage can be maybe between 1.8 and 3.3 volts. So let's look at my example. I have an LED. I need to put a resistor on that LED to limit the current. So this is what I'm going to hook up. I'm going to have my 5 volt voltage source, which would be my LED pin, my Arduino pin. I'm going to have an LED. I'm going to have a resistor, and I'm going to connect it to ground. I know that the forward voltage over my LED is 2 volts. the current, I get to choose this. I want to limit the current to 5 milliamps. This is well below 20 milliamps, which is the maximum forward current of my LED. And I need to figure out what this resistor value is going to be. And in order to do that, I need to use this equation, which is Ohm's law. Ohm's law says the voltage is equal to the current times the resistance. Now, I cannot use Ohm's law over the LED. The LED is a nonlinear device, and Ohm's law only holds true for linear devices. Now, luckily, the resistor is a linear device, so I can use Ohm's law over this resistor. With what I know, let me put in what I know. I know my forward voltage over this LED is 2 volts. I don't know what my resistor is, and that tells me I know the voltage that this resistor is going to see. If I have 5 volts up here and I have 0 volts at ground, and I have 2 volts over this LED, that means the voltage of the resistor plus the voltage of the LED needs to equal the voltage of my source. So I can rearrange that equation. I can say Vs minus Vf is going to give me my voltage over the resistor. And I know that this resistor is going to be equal to 3 volts. I can check that. 3 volts plus 2 volts is equal to 5 volts. So that's good. It's my 5 volts. I also want to limit this to 5 milliamps. Now, voltage is different than current. Everything's going to see the same current. So my LED and my resistor are both going to see 5 milliamps, even though they see different voltages. So now I have enough to use Ohm's law. I know my voltage, I know my current, I know my voltage, I know my current, and I can figure out my resistance. So I can rearrange the equation. I can rearrange Ohm's law. R is equal to V over I. Then the voltage is what this resistor sees. So Vs minus Vf. Vs is 5 volts. Vf is 2 volts. My current is 5 milliamps or 0.005 amps. And I can solve this and I need a resistor value of 600 ohms. Now, I don't personally own a resistor that's 600 ohms. I own 680 resistors, 680 ohms, and I own 560 ohms resistors. And that's probably a situation you're going to find yourself in. You're going to calculate a resistance value, and you're not going to have that exact resistor. So you need to make a choice. You can either go with a higher resistor value, and that higher resistor value is going to limit the current even more, and you're going to have a lower brightness. Or you can go with a lower resistor value, and that lower resistor value is going to let more current flow, and you're going to have a higher brightness. Now, for me, I'm going to go with the lower resistor value. I'm way under my maximum forward current, and this lower resistor value it's pretty close to the 600 ohms. So I'm going to go with a 560 ohm resistor. Now finally, we have to hook all this stuff up, and I am going to use a solderless breadboard. If you've never used a solderless breadboard, this is how it works. This is what your breadboard looks like. These long rails that have this blue and this red are power rails. So on these power rails, everything along this blue line is connected and sees the same voltage. Everything along this red line is connected and sees the same voltage. It is confined to just the blue and the red line. So this blue line on this side of the power rail is not connected to this side of the breadboard. So this blue line and this blue line are not connected, even though they're both power rails. This red line and this red line are not connected, even though they're both power rails. Now, you also have these terminal strips. Terminal strips, everything of different colors are connected together. So everything along this red line right here is connected. Everything along this black line right here is connected. And this goes down through the rest of the breadboard. This black line is not connected to this blue line. So you have this bridge, this gap right here. And this is used so you can easily put integrated circuits on a breadboard. But when you put integrated circuits on the breadboard, you need to have this side of the ridge be separate from this side of the ridge. So these voltages are different. So this blue and this black, they're separate, but everything along that blue row sees the same voltage. Let's check those values for the LED in the resistor and check our calculations. So on my Uno, what I've done is I've hooked 5 volts up to the LED, and then I've hooked the other side up to ground. If I check this, you can see the multimeter. I have 4.92 volts, really close to 5. If I check the voltage over the LED, 1.96 volts, really close to 2. Voltage over the resistor, 2.93 volts, pretty close to 3. So what I want to do is I want to check the current. If I check the current, I need to break the circuit to make that measurement. So I need to have this go like this. And I got what? 5.2 milliamps. So that's close to 5. It's a little bit more than 5, and that's what I'd expect because my resistor that I chose was lower than the 600 ohms, which would give me 5 milliamps. So now I want to blink my LED and write the Arduino code. So I'm going to switch this 5 volts over to a pin on the Arduino. I'm going to pick pin 8. I'm going to turn this off. And I have my breadboard and I have my LED. So on the Arduino, in the Arduino software, we have this void setup and this void loop. When the Arduino runs, it runs the setup at the very beginning one time, and then it continually goes through this loop. So what I want to do is I want to declare a pin value. I am in pin, LED pin. I need to declare it as an integer. LED pin is pin 8. And in the setup, I need to first declare the pin mode, which would be output or input. So to do that, I say pin mode. I do my LED pin. So it's telling me pin 8 needs to be an output. And then in my loop, all I want to do is turn the LED high, then turn the LED low. And I want to wait a second in between it being high and being low. To turn an LED high, I need to use digital write. It needs to be the LED pin, and it needs to be high. I want to wait, so I want to say delay, and I want to say 1000. This is time in milliseconds, so 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds. If I wanted to wait 2 seconds, this would be 2000 milliseconds. Now I want to then digital write. I want to turn my pin. I want to turn it off. Now when I turn it off, I then need to, this is a pretty common mistake, is to forget this delay after turning it low. So I then need another delay, and I'll delay for one second. So I'm going to turn it high. It's going to delay for 2 seconds, so it's going to be on for 2 seconds. I'm going to turn it low. It's going to stay low for 1 second before it goes back to high, and then it's just going to repeat. So I can upload, and I can upload it to my board, Arduino Uno on COM3. So typically I want to make sure that my on my tools that the correct board is selected, and there you have it. The LED pin the LED is staying on for 2 seconds, and then it's going off for 1 second. On for 2 seconds, off for 1 second. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. By subscribing, it helps me get more visibility on YouTube so more people can use this content. If you're looking for other Arduino tutorials, look at the playlist to my right, and there should be more types of walkthroughs for Arduinos that you might find interesting.